I think everybody coming out to Sunday school had a good number right at 67. It's the highest we've been in a while, so everybody come back next Sunday, bring somebody with you. We'll find a class that you enjoy. Sunday school starts at 9 o'clock every Sunday. With that being said, I'll turn the service over to Brother Allen.
We welcome you out this morning and hope that you had a good week. In the way of announcements, our revival will start October the 11th, and that's on a Wednesday this time instead of a Sunday. And then we'll end up October the 15th with the Shirees. They'll be with us that night. So we'll look forward to that group, and they do a great job. And they're from North Carolina, so mark the calendar for that. There is choir practice this evening at 5 o'clock county time, and we invite you to come out for that. If you're in the choir, also come out tonight for Bible study, and certainly we have a good time on Sunday nights as well. We've got a bunch of birthdays this month. Renita, you've got a birthday, right? Yeah, all right. Max has got a birthday. Carly's got a birthday. Mr. Risen's got a birthday. Colton and David. Good Lord. A bunch of old people in here. Stand up and let's sing happy birthday to them this morning.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God bless you. Happy birthday to you and many more.
I'll just stay standing and turn to page 17 in the little book.
I have found a friend in Jesus. He's everything to me. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul. The lily of the valley, in Him alone I see. All I need to cleanse and make me fully whole. In sorrow He's my comfort, in trouble He's my stay. He tells me every care on Him to roll. He's the lily of the valley, the bright and morning star. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul. Owning all my griefs has taken and all my sorrows borne. In temptation He's my strong and mighty tower. I am all for Him forsaken and all my idols torn. From my heart and now He keeps me by His power. Though all the world forsake me and Satan tempt me sore, through Jesus I shall safely reach the goal. He's the lily of the valley, the bright and morning star. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul. He will never, never leave me, nor yet forsake me here, while I live by faith and do His blessed will. Not a wall of fire about me, I've nothing now to fear. With His manna He my hungry soul shall fill. In sweeping up to glory, to see His blessed face, there rivers until I shall ever roll. He's the lily of the valley, the bright and morning star. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul.
Let's pray this morning. Father God, we thank you for the kind privilege to be in your house this morning. We thank you for the gift of life. Lord, we pray that you bless this service this day and have your will. In Jesus' name, amen.
Again, I've been saved this morning. beyond but my eyes. It's the place Lord gives way to glory. And like an eagle, I'll take to the sky. And the sun coming up in the morning, every tear will be gone from my eyes. This will praise the Lord, give way to glory. And like an eagle, I'll take to the sky. And like an eagle, I'll take to the
Stand to greet hands this morning with your guests and welcome you.
Everybody love it?
It was great.
All right. Well, this morning, we are going to read some scripture about Jesus dying on the cross and kind of what comes after that. And what I mean by that is kind of what's maybe expected from us. But I've done a lot of praying on what to do for children's church. And I just happened to ask Riley, and I asked her what she wanted me to, I thought I should do the lesson on. So she said Jesus dying on the cross. So I do believe that's one of the most important things in the Bible. So can't ever go wrong with that. I am going to read from, I'm going to read some scripture, and we'll discuss a little bit. Matthew chapter 20, 17 through 19. Now as Jesus was going up to Jerusalem, he took the 12 disciples aside and said to them, "We are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be betrayed to the chief priests and the teachers of the law. They will condemn him to death and will turn him over to the Gentiles to be mocked and flogged and crucified. On the third day he will be raised to life." So what that scripture is telling me is Jesus had to go up on Jerusalem. He had to be put on the cross. Let me read from Luke 24. "The Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men, be crucified, and on the third day be raised again." So Jesus had to die on the cross. Does anybody know why Jesus had to go up and down the cross? To save us from our sins, right? So Jesus knew what he was headed into. He knew that he was going to get ready to face a brutal death and a whole lot of pain, but he knew he had to do it for us. Be patient with me. Wait. All right, Romans chapter 6 through 14. "For we know that our old self was crucified with him, so that the body of sin might be done away with, that we should no longer be slaves to sin, because anyone who has died has been freed from sin. Now if we died with Christ, we believe that we will also live with him. For we know that since Christ was raised from the dead, he cannot die again. Death no longer has mastery over him. The death he died to sin once for all, but the life he lives to God. In the same way, count yourselves dead to sin, but alive to God in Christ Jesus. Therefore do not let sin reign in your mortal body, so that you obey its evil desire. Do not offer the parts of your body to sin as instruments of wickedness, but rather offer yourselves to God as those who can brought from death to life, and offer the parts of your body to him as instruments of righteousness. For sin shall not be your master, because you are not under law, but under grace." Now I know this is kind of lengthy and wording for these kids, and I know I've lost them, but that's kind of what the Lord has put on my heart this morning. I don't know why, but I was felt to do that at children's church for service for children's church. But I want to ask, how many kids do we have here that saved this morning? Will you please stand up? All the ones that's turned their life over to Jesus. Praise the Lord. Let's give a hand clap. Nobody has to, but does anybody want to share how they felt whenever the Lord was dealing with them and talking to them before they had become saved? Does anybody want to share that? And you don't have to. I'll share mine if nobody else wants to share theirs. All right. Well, I'll share mine. I was a young kid, and at a young age, the Lord was dealing with me. And I sat there in a pew probably for 2 or 3 weeks, and he was just really talking to me, wanting me to go ahead and turn my life over to him. And but I fought it just as long as I could as a young child. But I know Riley has asked me a few times, well, how do you know? Well, you'll know whenever done something wrong in school and you had to go home that afternoon and you knew mom and dad knew about it and you was in trouble, whenever you got home you was probably going to get a whooping. That feeling that I had as a small child, knowing that I had to go home to face mom and parents whenever I done something wrong in school, that's kind of the feeling that, you know, for me, that's how it was, whenever the Lord was really working on me. But if you ever have those feelings and you're not saved, you haven't turned your life over to the Lord, you can always talk to your parents. You can always talk to the preacher or any deacons here. And at any time, if you're sitting in that pew and you feel like the Lord's talking to you, that's what the altar's for. You can go up there any time. It doesn't matter. And that's not just for kids. That's for grown-ups, too. If we have any lost grown-ups in here. You know, I think pride kind of keeps us from doing some Lord's work. Anyway, I know that was not exactly the most simple lesson I could have taught, but I'm a vessel for the Lord, and I do believe that's what He wanted me to do this morning, so hopefully I've done His will. I'm going to go ahead and close this out, so Brother Roger can give us a good lesson. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Father, thank you for this group of children we have here. Father, thank you for the numbers that we have here. Father, please be with the people that's not here this morning, that they have good reason that they'll be back soon, Father. Please be with these children as they go throughout the week, and please be with them to always put you first, Father. Father, also be with us as parents and as church members to guide these young people and to do your will, Father. Thank you for everything you do for us. Thank you for all your blessings. Father, thank you for the word, and just please be with us to want to live to be better Christians, Father, and always put you number one. Jesus Christ, family, we pray. Amen. Right. I got some treats for you. $1 here.
While they're finishing up, you all stand and get your little book and turn to page 129.
Beyond the blue, the angels welcome me from heaven.
singing, and dog was barking, and Max was ready to go to sleep, and they was in there cutting the shine. But we had a good time, and Caroline gets kind of nervous, but the longer you do anything, the more used to it you'll get. Amen? And so appreciate her efforts. This morning, we're going to be in the book of John, chapter 11. Next Sunday, Lord willing, I'm going to start a series. I've not done one since December. So we start a series next week. And I'm looking forward to that. I've started studying for it. And so we'll be in it for the next month, starting next Sunday. And so today, we're going to talk about if only. Now, there's a lot of if onlys in life. If only I had done this, if only you had done whatever, if only I had married a different person, if only I had said no, or if I'd said yes, or whatever your example is. A lot of us have that statement that we will say, if only. How many's ever said that? Probably everybody. If only. If only. This morning, coming to church, there was a gentleman, I assume it's a gentleman, in his truck in front of him. And he just hauled off, hit his brakes, and my seat started pulsating, and I locked it up and just barely stopped before it hit him. He never gave a signal or anything. He just stopped right in the middle of the road. And if only I hadn't have stopped, we wouldn't have been here this morning. I've been on the side of the road kicking and screaming. Amen? But, if only. But the Lord did prevent that from happening. Thanks be to God. So if only, if I reflect back and I go through what could have been, should have been, maybe could have been, there's a lot of those times in my life when I pose the statement, if only. If only I had done things 20 years ago, we say. If I'd only done things 50 years ago, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in or you're in now. A lot of us, we look back over things we've done in our life that was irresponsible. How many's ever done things that's irresponsible? Yeah. And a lot of the times when we get to the place in life where we look back and we will say, Lisa, if only I had not have done that 52 years ago, I wouldn't be in this position today. I had a gentleman yesterday, and I heard him say he's got diabetes and high blood pressure and this and this and this. And he said, but he loves to smoke. He said if he takes that away, he has really nothing else in life. But he walks around, you know how they just cough and carrying on. And so there will come a time, odds are, that he will say, if only I had stopped smoking, more than likely. And so there's a lot of those things in life, if only. So this morning we're going to talk about two women and Jesus and a man named Lazarus. You know the story very well. John chapter 11. Verse 21. Then said Martha to Jesus, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. But I know that even now, whatsoever you ask God will give it to you. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. And he that believes in me, though we're dead, he shall live. And whosoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Believe thou this. She said to him, yeah, Lord, I believe thou art Christ, the Son of God, which should come into the world. So when she said this, she went her way and called Mary, her sister, secretly, saying, the Master's come, and he calls for you. As soon as she heard that, she arose quickly and came to him. Now, Jesus was not yet come to the town, but was in that place where Martha met him. The Jews then, which were with her in the house, comforted her. When they saw Mary, they rose up hastily and went out to follow her, saying, she goes to the grave to weep. Then Mary come to the place where Jesus was and saw him. She fell down at his feet and said, Lord, if thou hast been here. It's 2 times this is recorded. My brother had not died. Jesus therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping, which came with her, and he groaned in spirit and was troubled, and he said, where have you laid him? They said to him, Lord, come and see. And Jesus wept. Now, you've got in verse 21, Martha tells Jesus, if you had been here. And then you go on over and Mary tells him the same thing. Lord, if you had been here. So here's 2 women that in my mind is pretty faithful, and both of them told the Lord, if only. So, both of them had the confidence, had the faith, but it was past tense, if only. So, he told Martha, he says, you know, he'll rise again. Of course, she thinks he's talking about the resurrection of the church. But they still stay on that comment of if only. Now, if I live in past tense constantly, all right? If I live in what was, what I could have done different, I will never accomplish anything in life. I can't go back to Saturday. I can't go back 15 years ago. What was done then's done, and that's that. I can't change it. And Mary and Martha, they kept telling Jesus, well, if only, if you'd been here, we wouldn't be in this position. Now, you got to keep in mind they were talking to Jesus, the Son of God. So if only means nothing to him. All right? If only has no weight with him. So, it brings us up to the question, why do hard things happen? How many's ever known of somebody that's gotten a divorce and it's very difficult on that family? Sure you do. All right? How many's ever known of somebody that died? It's difficult on that family. And so the question is raised, well, if only we had done something different, the divorce wouldn't have happened. Or maybe they would have lived a little longer if only. Carol, we can live our life if only, as long as we live. If only. If only. Well, we can't undo it. It's already been done. There's only one person that can undo it and reverse it. Now, so the question is raised, why do we have hard times? Are we being punished? You ever thought about that? Well, maybe that's the reason why Mary and Martha was going through this. Maybe they were being punished. Maybe they had faith, but not enough of it. Because they told Jesus, if only, if only. If you'd been here, Lazarus would not be out there in the grave. Of course, verse 35, shortest verse, Jesus wept. Now, maybe some of us, I want you to jot this down, we experienced the painful result of our own choices. All right? Maybe we experienced the painful result of our own choices. Now, we can blame God and we can go back and say, if only, if only, if only. But if you look back, most of the time you was in charge of the steering wheel. And you guided your life, and most of us, we are the result of our own choices. All right? Say amen. Amen. All right. So most of us are the result of past made. Now, I don't want you to raise your hand, but this would be true for everyone. How many's ever made a wrong mistake? And then how many of you have ever lived out that wrong mistake? Well, there again is everybody. Now, I can live in the past, Ronnie, and I can say, if only I had not have done that thing 20 years ago. If only. But I did. So I can't change it. So, sometimes we live out the result of our own choices. Now, I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again. Years ago, a buddy of mine and myself, we was kids. We was old enough to know better, but Billy, we was mischievous. And we was about 9, 10. And there was a new house going up around the block from where he lived and I lived. So we went over there one night, thought it would be kind of fun to break out the window. So he picked up a rock and he slung it at it and it kind of bounced back. I said, well, you ain't throwing it hard enough. I said, let me show you how to do it. I picked up that rock and reared it back and Buddy went right through there. Kind of felt good. So he said, well, I want to do it. So he picked up a rock and, man, right through there it went. On another window. So we felt pretty proud. Got on our little bicycles and off we went. We broke out 2 windows and never thought nothing about it. Well, it was about 2 nights later. I was done in my bed, and here come both sets of footprints, or steps, down the hallway. I'm the only child who wasn't any more kid. And so the hallway light was on, the door flung open, and my parents come in and sit on the side of the bed. Dad said, you got something to tell me? I ain't got nothing to tell you. Mom said, you better spit it out. I said, what are y'all talking about? And so we sat there, and they was kind of quiet. Dad said, I'm going to give you one more chance to tell me what you've done. Of course, by this time, I knew they knew. I said, well, Jason made me do it. Dad said, you can't blame it on somebody else. What'd you do? I broke that window out with a rock. So, long story short, they made me take my money out of my little savings account and go apologize and pay for the window. All right? And his daddy, not only did he make him do it, but he liked to beat him to death. Literally, with a belt. And so, Jason and I were grounded. We couldn't be on bicycles, especially around new construction. I learned then to never break a window. Never done it again. But, was that a bad mistake? Sure it was. Was I a kid? Sure. Did I know better? Well, sure I did. But did I do it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Did I have to pay for it 4 ways than one? You better believe it. You better believe it. So, you say, well, I can't believe you've done that. Well, every one of us has stories that if we all told them, we'd all, oh, I can't believe we've done that. I can't believe it. But I done it. I was a kid. Would I do it now at 37? No. But I was 9 or whatever it was. Did I do it then? Sure. It was always funny. So Mom and Dad found out. It wasn't too funny now. So, I could go back and I could live my life over a window that was broke almost 30 years ago and say, if only. If only. Well, I done it. I paid for it. And sure, I still regret it. That it happened, but it happened. Nothing I could do. So, a lot of times we are living out the painful result of our own choices. Next morning, I guess, I don't know if both sets of parents talked about it on the phone, I don't know, but the next morning we met up on the bus. He couldn't hardly sit down, that's true. Couldn't hardly sit down. He said, my dad killed me last night. He said, I can't play no more for a long time. I said, I can't. I said, Mom, Dad just like to like to beat us to death. And I said, not only that, I got to pay for it. He said, well, I do too. So we learned very quickly that was it. No more of that. So that was a hard experience, but it helped me later on in life. Sure. I didn't do that ever again. Now, here's where we kind of get in trouble. Go back to verse 21. Martha said, Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, if only. Then look over at verse 32. This is the other sister, Mary, about 2/3 of the way down. Or if thou hast been here. Both sisters had the same problem. If only. So number 2, they had a big problem in learning to trust Him. Alright? Had a huge problem learning to let Jesus do the guiding. So what they done, they knew that if He was there prior to Lazarus dying, that Jesus could have kept him alive. Now, since he was dead, they had no faith that Jesus could raise him from the tomb. Of course, we all know He did. So, in the valley, there's no place to look but look up. And so here's 2 sisters that had been taught by Jesus. Lazarus was one of his best friends. And been through the valleys of life together. And of course, Jesus knew he was sick, but he still tarried approximately 4 days before he got to where Lazarus was. And all of this was to help not only you and I, but to help Mary and Martha learn to do what? Trust Him. Trust Him. Now, they trusted Him up until the point of the last breath. So once that last breath was taken, they said, it's over. There's nothing that Jesus can do to help Lazarus because he's dead. Not only that, he's been in the tomb and he's already seen by now. Now, sometimes we don't understand why these things happen. Sometimes you break a window, you cause that to yourself. Sometimes you get a speeding ticket, or you do something to your spouse or your kids. That you brought that on yourself. But there's sometimes, like Mary and Martha and their brother, he died. That was not necessarily self-inflicted. It just happened. But they had the faith that if only you'd been here, I wouldn't have done it. Well, I'm going to blame my parents. Well, if only you'd been there, I wouldn't have broken the window. But they wasn't there. They trusted us to be out goofing off like kids used to do. I don't guess they do it now. It's down their iPad. So, you see, we could live our life if only I could go back. If only I could undo something. If only I could change my past. I can't. Can't change it. Nothing I can do to change it. Every one of you's got things that you've done that you wish you hadn't done. Third point. I want you to look at Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5. The latter part of the verse is the part I want you to focus on. I will never leave you nor forsake you. I, listen to it, will never leave you nor forsake you. Now, so in other words, when I'm doing whatever I'm doing, when we're like Mary and Martha, if only, Jesus says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. So it doesn't matter where we are, whether we're at work, school, or home, or in the shopping center, Jesus says, I will never leave you nor forsake you no matter what comes or goes. So when things comes up, and before you use that comment, if only, don't do it. Just plain out, don't do it. Because there will come a time in your life when you will say, if only I had not done it. If only I'd left it alone. If only I'd never smoked the first cigarette. If only I never took the first drink of alcohol. If only I'd never slept around. If only. Well, if you don't start it, you never have to make that comment. If you never do it, just stop it before it ever begins, then you will never make a comment like Mary and Martha. If only. Because who's with you always as a believer? Says he will never leave you, nor forsake you. So in other words, he's my help. So no matter what I'm going through, no matter what the decisions I'm trying to face or sort through in life, he says, I will never leave you nor forsake you, so I'm there with you. So guess what? No matter what you're going through, he's there, so I never have to get to the point where I say, if you've just been here, I would have done it. Because, Stuart, he's there from the beginning. Because he's promised that to those that love him. Those that know him. So, why would I want to live my life in the past of saying, if, oh, well, God Almighty is right there with us from the beginning. Next point, once you jot this down. He's never late either. Did you know that? Never late. Now, go back in your scripture. Alright? And it won't be on the board or overhead. After verse 35. I love the illustration. And Mary and Martha, they both make the comment, if only. So, meaning that past tense, if you've been here, we wouldn't be in this situation. But our old brother's dead. So in their mind, there's nothing that Jesus can do for them. So, if somebody's been dead any amount of time, especially for several days, you think, common sense tells you, doctors and nurses, that, much can do for them. Look, if you will, at verse 39. Jesus said, take away the stone. Martha, the sister of Lazarus that was dead, said to him, Lord, by this time he stinks, for he's been dead 4 days. 72 hours. Jesus said to her, I not unto thee that if thou would believe, thou shouldest see the glory of God. Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid, and Jesus lifted his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that thou hast heard me. And I knew that thou hearest me always, but because of the people which stand by, I said it that they may believe that thou hast sent me. And here's what he said. He said to him, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. Next verse, Jesus tells him, says, loose him and let him go. So, was Jesus late? Well, no. Was he on time? Yes. Did Lazarus get up 72 hours later? According to Scripture, he did. So, you and I, we live on, we think, well, if only you'd been here earlier, if only, but Jesus doesn't answer to if only. He answers to, yes, I will, or I know I can, and it's going to happen right now. And so Martha says, well, why would we roll the stone back? I mean, he stinks for that. I mean, it's hotter than who knows what out here, and he's been in that tomb for 72 hours, and now you tell us to roll the stone back? He said, do it anyway. They roll it back, and he thinks, he talks to his father, and he tells him, says, thank you for these people, and thank you that I know you hear me. Lazarus, get up. And he did just that. So was he late? No. Was he on time, Jared? Yes, he was. I'm not an early guy myself. I'm just on time. If I'm to be at work at 8 o'clock, I'm there at 7:59. Amen? That's on time. I don't give them no extra time. If we leave work at 6 or whatever time it is, Buddy comes 5:55, I'm clocking out, and I'm hitting the door. I ain't giving them no extra time either. So, yeah, if we go into the movies and it starts at 7, I'll walk in there probably at 6:55. On time. I'm not early. I grew up, if Dad had to be at work at 6, he left the house at 5:50. That's true. 10 minutes till he said, please, I get clocked in and get to my table. That's the way it was. Mom, the same way. She might give 5 minutes extra. That's it. So, I've always lived just right on time. And that's kind of the way Jesus said. Now, we got a deacon here, Ryan. If he's going somewhere, he gets there 2 days before his birthday. And love him to death, but if he's got an appointment at Thursday at 7, he'll get there Tuesday at 7. All right? Now, I would roll in there at Thursday at 6:59. But that's just the difference of people. But Jesus was that person that was always right on time. Now, to Mary and Martha, it appeared as though he was late. 4 days late. Because Lazarus was dead and was stinking and been behind the rock for 4 days. So, in all appearances, he is, in fact, late. But in Jesus' mind, he was, Michael, right on time. Right on time. So here's a man that, according to the sisters, he was stinking and dead for sin into hell. Jesus did not answer the if only. Didn't answer the if only. Did not answer the if only. So do not live your life in the if only. Do not live if I had done something different 2 days ago. Can't change it. Can't change it. The only person that can change the outcome of your mistakes, of your past problems, is a man named Jesus. Amen? Amen? Amen. I mean, I can't go back and redo something I've done when I was a kid. It's done over with. Was it stupid? Sure. But can I change it? I can't change it. Can't change it. But Jesus can make a mistake and allow us to learn from it. Did Mary and Martha from then on probably trust the Lord? You better believe it. I bet they were full force, gun, ho. If Jesus said it, you can write it on the wall. It's going to happen. They never doubted him again and probably never used that statement. If only. So this week, I do not want you as a congregation to live in the past of stating, if only. If only. And I have lived in that statement before. I have lived in that statement of stating, if only I had done it years ago. If only. I don't like much being able to teach school teachers. And certain things have come up through the years, and I'll had enough credit hours, graduated college, as we was pregnant with Carol. Then I started back to school, and lo and behold, here comes Alexis, so I quit again. And the third time he was going to start, Keisha was so close to being done with her nursing degree. I said, you finish, and then I'll go back. And she finishes, and then there he comes, 4-year-old, walk through the door. And so, I have lived my life, if only I had have done the school thing. If only I had have finished, not graduated early. If only. If only. But God puts you in situations and places where you need to be when you need to be. So whether there's things that you say, well, I should have done years ago, but I didn't finish, or whatever. Wherever you are, that is probably where God wants you at that moment. All right? You may not like it. All right? You may not like your job. I'm not the biggest fan of what I do. I'm just not. But that's where I went with the intention of being there a year. 11 years later, I'm still there. Do I like it? No, I don't. I'll be honest. I like it. It's hard. But that's where God had put me at that moment. For whatever reason, Jared's still there. So you see, never live in the if-onlys, because God has a plan for you. You may not understand it. You may not understand why Lazarus died, and then Jesus, got him out of the tomb when Jesus could have been there before he died. But that's the way Jesus chose for it to happen. So this morning, ladies, come on. Once you think about your life, don't live in the if-onlys. Don't live in the past. Don't dwell on, well, I should have, I could have, I didn't. Well, that's irregardless. You've already done it. It's over with. Let's move on. The past is simply the past. We've all done things we shouldn't have. We have to move on from that. Let's stand if you would. Heads bowed and eyes closed. Father God, we come to you and we thank you for this time. Lord, I pray we'll never be like Mary and Martha, that we just walk around. If only, Lord, you've been here, this wouldn't happen. If only, Lord, you've been here, our brother wouldn't be dead. But I thank the Lord that you don't live in the past and you don't live by the if only. You live in the now. You live in what can be if we trust in you. Father, if there's one of us or a multitude of us that, Lord, we doubt you from time to time, we don't put all the faith in you that we need to. Pray this will be the hour that our faith grows closer. In Jesus' name, amen.
Page 277.
Someone else.
I'd like to remember Carlos Compton. He passed away. A lot of y'all probably know him. He was our pastor for years. He baptized me, married Alicia and I. And yesterday when I was speaking to his wife, she was not sad. I mean, she was kind of happy because she was talking about what an impact he had on so many of us. So he was a good man.
Where did he pastor at?
He was our pastor at Green Hill, and he still had a church up in Campbellsville. But gosh, over the years, he's probably the first pastor that I remember when I was coming up. So,
Leo and Brother Compton's big buddies.
yeah.
A lot. Someone else. Someone else.
The church needs to remember Charlie Houck.
Right? Jim?
Yes, prayer for Billy Joe Graves, big diagnosed with terminal cancer.
Someone else.
I know it's hot outside, and this is early, but there's a sign-up sheet on the back door for the Christmas play. Y'all knew this was coming. So, just be in prayer for that, and if you want to help, take a part or whatever in that, just sign up back there so I kind of know where I'm going.
Anyone else?
I just want to say I'm thankful for the opportunity to sing
Anyone else?
There was a kid in my grade, he had just played band, and he lost it.
Come back tonight, 6 o'clock for worship, county time. They're in the choir, 5 o'clock. We look forward to seeing you back tonight. Chair dismisses.
Well, it's great to tell the Father, Lord, but once again, give you thanks for today, Lord. We thank you for your many blessings, Lord. We thank you for the church, Lord. We thank you for the word that we've heard this morning, Lord. We just pray that we would apply it to our everyday lives, Lord. Just help us to be not living in the past, Lord. Help us to let those things go, Lord. We just ask for your forgiveness for our sins, Lord. And once we ask for that forgiveness, Lord, we pray that we would let it go, Lord. We know that you've already forgot it and it's over, Lord, but sometimes we want to hold on to that, Lord. We just pray that we would have the strength to let those things go and let the past be the past, Lord. We thank you for all your many blessings, Lord. We pray that this church would be a shining light to the community that we need to be, Lord. We pray that we would be the disciples that we need to be. Lord, we just pray for many prayer concerns that we mentioned, and we pray that you place your hand in every situation, let your will be done. Bring us back